Instagram stories for Monday, May 5th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we're going to talk about the questions and answers that the head of Instagram recently shared on his Ask Me Anything, which included updates about the Edits app, which we'll get into, plus a little bit about Meta AI and how to get more reach using carousels. All of that and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's get into the questions and answers from the head of Instagram, starting with all the questions about the new Edits app. The first one, will my Reels be downranked for not using edits? Obviously not.
Nope, I'm not going to downrank content that comes from other editors. That's totally fine. So you should feel free to use it. We want to make sure that if Edits wins, it's because people really enjoy using it for not only its editing tools, but for how it can help you find content to be inspired by and keep track of your ideas.
Those are great suggestions for how to use the Edits app. You can certainly use it to save ideas and also check into your analytics as well. Let's do another Edits question. Are you going to add more to Edits? I'm going to let Adam answer because he gives kind of a generic answer, and then I'll give some specific things that the Edits team have added over the past couple of days.
On the topic of edits, lots more features to come. We know a lot of basics that are needed, like more fonts and transitions and styles, but also pretty excited about some of the AI tools to edit video, about some of the more interesting ways to keep track of ideas. So lots to come. We're going to be updating it every week.
Okay, he mentioned adding more fonts, but that was pretty general otherwise. As per Meta, quote, we now have 125 fonts for you to add personality to your text and match your style. You can also add depth and emotion to your voiceovers with 15 effects to choose from, end quote. So clearly, the team at Edits is really working hard to build this app out more to give you more possibilities for content creation. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Longer than 90 seconds music on posts and music on posts on desktop/web version. There's two questions here. First, why is music in Instagram capped at 90 seconds? That's one question I'm going to let Adam Mosseri answer. The second question here, music on posts on the desktop/web version is a very frustrating thing. If I want to upload a clip of me doing a voiceover, I need to make sure that I am matching the voiceover to the audio that Instagram already has inside the Instagram app from a previous video. That is not something you can do on the desktop version, and it is very annoying. You have to do it from the phone. I will let Adam Mosseri give his insight on both of these.
We can't do more than 90 seconds of music on a reel because of our deals with the labels and the restrictions on that, but you should be able to, you're right, be able to add audio from the web. I don't know of a reason why that doesn't exist, so I'll look into that.
Okay, I just want to pause real quick on one of the things that he said at the beginning of that answer, talking about how music licensing limits them to 90 seconds worth of music. I find this absolutely ridiculous for so many different reasons, but the core reason is the way I grew up finding out about new music by watching MTV and VH1. Can you imagine if MTV and VH1 could only post 90 seconds of a music video? You wouldn't know what happens in the rest of the song, and maybe you don't like it. I think that is a terrible reason, and I really think that's something that the music industry and social media platforms need to work together a lot better on. And by the way, since I'm talking about this topic, I think music should be available for business accounts too, and I can't understand why it's not. Yes, I understand there's licensing involved, businesses, money, whatever, I get it. But also, you are posting on these platforms, the platforms are making money from your posts. Likely you are, if you are a business putting advertising dollars behind those posts, it is in their best interests to solve this problem and just pay whatever is required to the music license rights holders so that you can use music without any issue. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to get more reach on stories and how to get more reach by using carousels. Stick around. Welcome back. We're continuing with the questions and answers from the head of Instagram, and let's do one about the Meta AI app. Is Meta AI a separate app or is it in Instagram? The answer is both.
Meta AI is a large language model, so it's an AI you can talk to, and you can talk to it either with Instagram or you can download a dedicated app if you just want easy, quick access to the latest and greatest. So if you want to check that out, go to the App Store and look for Meta AI.
Just as a reminder, for your own data privacy, I suggest not doing that. if you're going to use Google Gemini or ChatGPT, I would suggest keeping that separate so that Meta does not have even more information about you. Let's go on to a question about stories that has to do with reach. Does tagging someone in my story help my reach? Not really. The only way that would help is if they repost your story. That would be really the only way it would help your reach.
No, tagging someone in your story does not help your reach.
It's probably a good time to mention that stories really are not for discoverability. Stories are for the people who already follow you to see what you are up to, show your behind the scenes, or other things that are a little bit more private once they've decided that they want to be your follower. And the last question we're going to talk about today, why do my carousels get more reach than if I post one picture? If you've been listening to this show for a while, you know the answer, but I'll let Adam say it first.
Carousels can often get more reach than a single post because they get a second shot at feed. So if someone scrolls by your carousel and they don't swipe through it, and they keep using feed, maybe when they open up Instagram later that day, we might show the carousel again automatically moved to that second spot. So you can get a little bit more reach that way.
Okay, first, right off the bat, if you're going to post a picture on Instagram, you might as well post 2 pictures as a carousel because there's more likelihood that people will see that post. Having said that, if you want to use it more strategically, you would have a multi-photo carousel and you would have 2 potentially very similar or different hooks in the first 2 slides because Instagram is going to show either slide 1 or slide 2 to viewers who are scrolling. They're not going to necessarily show slide 9. So if you have 2 different hooks or 2 very similar hooks in slides 1 and 2, those are the ones that Instagram is more likely to show to people who are following you or suggesting that carousel to other people. This would be 2 chances to hook them into your post. I think that's a really good way to think about it strategically. That is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that you need to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No 6-pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.